Hmm. Hey guys, can you guys hear me okay? Please tell me you can hear me. um, not the glitch. You can't hear me? No, for real? Wait, no video playing, but I see her? Wait, can you guys like not hear or see me? It's been a day for glitches. Um, I'm just waiting for the chat to confirm yay or nay on all of that. Can you like hear me, not hear me, see me, not see me? Hello? Can you guys confirm you can hear me and see me? Because I've been having crazy, crazy glitches today. Yes, you can? Why can't I hear myself? You can? Okay. Hello. Oh, that's gonna drive me crazy. That's gonna drive me crazy. That's okay. It's just gonna have to be fine. Of all the glitches to happen, just the headphones not working, that's okay. I can deal. I can deal. Can see and hear you now. You're loud and clear. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Hi, welcome. If you're catching this after the fact, I am Island Turtle. This is BOMISpirit. This is just the Aloha Friday hangout where we hang out every Friday and we go over some astrology, some channel messages, that sort of stuff, and we just have a good time. Way louder than usual. Yeah, it's whew, I don't want to go on a whole diatribe of all the shit that went down this morning. Excuse me. But I had to replace my mic this morning unexpectedly. And thank goodness I already had another one in storage. Otherwise, that would have like not been so great because I also checked in on the app for the YouTube app to see how going live would go. And yeah, no, still not working. Still not working for the horizontal view, and I've been wanting to Google that to see if anyone else has, like, still been experiencing that or if it's just me, but it's okay because we're here, and that's all that matters, right? Mm. Excuse me. Um, Before we go ahead and get started, I do wanna talk a little bit of, like I guess I'll just label this, like, brief overview, kind of eclipse stuff, kind of I don't know. I'll figure it out. Oh, also, my allergies have been really aggravating my asthma, so I might be doing that a lot, just so you guys know. Just putting a timestamp here. Okay, so as I was getting ready, dropping in to do this live, my team was really just bringing my awareness back to the fact that we are literally in the middle of eclipse season still, and while we are in a very different place energetically, I think most people are in a very different place. And if you feel like you're not, if you feel like you've been in the same place for like weeks, it's okay. Don't feel bad about that. Excuse me. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna drive me crazy. Ugh. It's okay if you feel that way. Don't feel bad about that. But for those who have been experiencing a shift, just to kind of give you a the lay of the land of some of these energies, we had the full moon Pisces eclipse, but also this last week we had the quarter moon in Cancer, and we also had the fall equinox as well, which is amazing. And we also have the new moon Libra eclipse coming up. Venus is now in Scorpio, Mercury is now in Libra, and we also have a water trine that is also forming between Venus, Mars, and Saturn. Venus being in Scorpio, Mars being in Cancer, and Saturn in Pisces. And I do believe that it's actually going to be peaking around the time of the new moon Libra eclipse. I could be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. I do, if memory serves from just like when I did the 2024 poster for the astrology poster, that there's actually quite a bit of grand trine activity that's going to be happening for the rest of the year. So just something to kind of put in your awareness. But as far as these shifts are concerned, that grand water trine along with the new moon Libra and the shift that we had because of the quarter moon in Cancer, we have we have gone through this, how do I want to say? Clearing and clarity that has come about. Some of us have been experiencing it with via severing of certain karmic portals and or experiences or relationships, however that may be transpiring for you. Excuse me. And in doing that, we've also been allowing ourselves to gain a little bit more mastery over our mind, our communication, how we are able to shift our perspective and be a little bit more malleable there and navigate difficult situations. And now we're moving into a space where we are a lot more clear as far as what we want to devote ourselves to or invest our time and energy into. And that's where the New Moon Libra and Grand Water Trine come in. I'm not going to get frustrated. Speaking of staying adaptable, there's just been a lot going on. There's just been a lot going on that I've even had to be adaptable for myself in my own personal life, including this morning. So I'm already running a little bit on edge as far as like having tolerance for more adaptability. But anyway, coming back, um, this grand water trine along the new moon Libra eclipse is actually really, really great energy to support us in choosing some of these investments or what we are devoting ourselves to, regardless of what those things are, even if it's just for ourselves, right? Having Venus in Scorpio, Mars in Cancer, and Saturn in Pisces, first of all, those three planets together are like chef's kiss. They're like golden for deciding to commit to something or someone that you have a lot of passion for and something that makes you feel really good, and also dedicating yourself in a way where it's a lot easier than it might be normally, but it's all in the realm of water, so it's almost has this like flow to it, situations and or circumstances and or choices that facilitate flow in your life or even facilitate emotional ease, you could say, emotional regulation, healing, spiritual activity, and relationships. So it's also really great for marriage for anybody where that's like a thing. Okay. And like long term relationships. So, also just putting that out there. I will be live tomorrow for the New Moon Libra eclipse. I got to take these headphones off. It's making me crazy. Okay. Yeah. Oh, just so much better. It's just weird when it's like you're muffled and like people are hearing you, but you can't totally hear yourself. And it just was throwing me. Hold on. Let me just put this over here. Okay. So I will be live tomorrow on Patreon at around 2 p.m. Pacific to do the deep dive on the new moon Libra eclipse, just to put that out there. Okay. But that's just kind of a little bit of overview as far as like what my team was drawing my attention towards. And even after that, I started seeing one of the cards from Big Bertha from the Starseed Oracle specifically. And it's one of I don't know if there's more than one Venus card, but it's the one that stands out to me as a Venus card. Something about like sweetness of life. I can just see the visual. Like I don't remember all the words like that are associated with the card, but that is what was coming up. Yes. Sorry. I was just waiting to see if something else was coming up there. But that card in particular is really about surrendering into the flow and ease of things that bring a lot of enjoyment and things that feel really good. And while that is speaking mostly to feminine energy, obviously we want to stay balanced in all of our energies, but it's this like allowance of what comes easy. And you may find that a lot of things that have been part of your norm are suddenly not so easy, or there's suddenly like how do I want to say, just challenges that get in the way, or for whatever reason it's hard to make certain things happen. And that's really just to help you to shift your perspective and help you to see a different way of doing things if that's needed, or even just to have a little bit of another chance to see like your intentions as to why you're still doing what it is you've been doing. Because sometimes I'm like going on a whole thing here. There's a lot coming through. Excuse me. Because sometimes when we get used to doing things or we get used to certain environments, we do go into like autopilot, right? And we kind of forget why we wanted to do those things in the first place or why we even continue to do them. So if you run into challenges or anything, just like flow with it and allow yourself to be open. Be open to just a different way of doing things, or be open to seeing things differently, or even what else you could be doing that's like not that particular thing, right? Um, they still want me to talk about these eclipses. The full moon Pisces eclipse definitely brought up a lot more internal shifting, I think, for most people. Some people that translated to external shifts, but I do feel like for the collective, it was mostly about internal shifting, emotional shifting, consciousness shifting, belief systems, that kind of thing, right? The new moon Libra eclipse, with it being a solar eclipse, I expect a lot more like tangible, physical, material world shifting, towers, changes, that sort of stuff that may even be out of our control a little bit. Like that we are still having this window of deciding we want to invest in that's there. And that will coincide with the changes. But don't be surprised if some of these changes or shifts are way more about your external reality than your internal world because of it being a solar eclipse. So also wanting to just hone in on that. Yeah. Yeah. That being said, is everybody doing okay? with all of these eclipse energies. Because, like, I know for me personally, there's definitely been some sweeping stuff away. That's for sure. That's for sure. And, like, in very eye-opening ways where it's just, like, confirming. Um, and I know for me personally, I feel like I've had how do I wanna say this? Just a whole new perspective on certain aspects of life where I'm just like, "Wow, the old me would not have handled that the way that I just handled that." You know? A little anxious, it's intense, yeah. It can be. Just having to practice so much patience, yeah. My life went crazy and hard. Energies are pushing me to enter my fearless era. Good, good. Been wanting to change my look, that's so Libra, that's so new moon Libra, you should do it. If you're feeling it, you should do it. Feeling stuck and frustrated, but overall okay. That is kind of a side effect of this year too. I think especially with the Jupiter square Saturn, excuse me, aspects, aspect really that we were under and that we're still gonna like feel that again, like as we get towards the end of the year. But when I tune into it, it doesn't feel as difficult. Like compared to August. Oh Lord, hold on a second. Yeah, like compared to August, August was really a lot. It was a lot. But with that aspect returning by the end of the year, I think it comes back in November. It could be December, but I think it's really November. It just doesn't feel as hard. And maybe because we've already gone through it, like we'll be able to deal with it a lot easier with this feeling of restriction, which again is just trying to teach us adaptability. I'm so out of it, I forgot it was live. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. My nephew in hospital. No, oh, I'm so sorry, Stars Moon. Oh man, I'm so sorry. Well, I hope that he gets better. I hope he gets better. Crunchy August. I can't believe September is already almost over. I know. I know. I'm like, oh, we are in October. I mean, I've been feeling like I've been in October for a while, and now I've been kind of feeling like I'm in like December-ish, just myself energetically, timeline-wise. But yeah, it's gone very fast. Terrible headache. Going through ooh, sorry, wildflower. Oh, that sounds awful. Ugh. I'm not so good with the creepy crawlies. Ugh. Lots of trickster archetypes trying to bait conflict. Oh my god. Oh, if only y'all knew. If only y'all knew what has been going on in my life. At least what went down recently. I feel that, Lala. I feel that. A lot of people passing. I don't know what month I'm in. Oh, thank you. It's actually a chapstick. It's Burt's Bees chapstick. It's a little too red for me, to be honest. Like I'm like I think I've said this before. I'm not like a red lip person. I'm way more like a purple brown kind of lip person, but it's just so hard to find the right shade. So I'm settling for this color for right now. But yeah, it's actually a chapstick. Mars and Cancer here. Major shakeup with friends today, but it was so needed. Yes, luckily I was mostly on the outside looking in. Well, that's good. That's good. With Mercury being in Libra, and of course, obviously the new moon Libra eclipse that we're approaching, even the water trine, right? Like Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and that Venusian energy on top of it. There's definitely going to be shit with people and relationships, and a lot of shifting there. If that hasn't happened already, I would strap yourself in. Okay. If it hasn't happened to you already. I feel like for me, it was actually a little delayed. I kind of expected it to like happen a little sooner, but that's okay. It happened in whatever way it needed to. Happy Friday, last weekend of September. Oh, unknown pregnancy scare. Oh, Alejandra. Well, sending you supportive energy for however that pans out in whatever way it pans out. Ditto on the trickster energy. Oh yeah, Birds Beats has had this kind of chopstick for years, and they used to have a more brown one, and they got rid of it. I was like, why? Why? Oh my god, Libra season, bring on the self care. Got Venus and Libra. Yeah, I went through my Venus return. My Venus is Libra. I went through my Venus return around. Do I still have it on the calendar? Actually, like, right at, like, the fall equinox, and I was like, "Why do I just wanna, like, decorate my home and, like, go out and have fun and, like, eat food and, and just, like, make myself pretty?" And it's like, "Oh, yeah, duh." I was going through my Venus return right as we had the fall equinox, which I think is kinda funny. Plus, Venus was also, conjunct the sun at the same time, so just kind of amplified. I met a great guy after, so it's a pull on of my heart. I like I just felt like the girlfriend vibes of like, "I wanna get on the phone and see if you're okay and, like, talk about it." Alejandra, just referencing what you're saying. Love the new setup. Yeah, this new setup was, me being adaptable to all the glitches and shit that was happening. So for those who are catching this later, and some of you are probably already familiar, I don't know if other, creators are having this issue. Um But I've recorded like 90 some percent of my videos on my phone on horizontal view, and it just keeps crashing, and it's been going on for days. So this has been my solution for the time being. How do you know when you're in a particular planet return? So, and so your return blah, words, sorry. Planetary returns are basically when the planet comes home to the time you were born, to the placement in which you were born. So, for example, my Venus is 29 degrees Libra. So when Venus was at late degrees Libra, moving into Scorpio, that's when I was having my Libra return. It's just when it comes back to your sign that it was in when you were born. It's like, I don't know why that was so wordy. Like Saturn return, for example, that's why we only have a Saturn return a couple times in our lifetime, because it takes like 27 and a half to 30 years for Saturn to come back to it to make a full orbit, right? So that's all. That's all. I like the picture in the background. Thank you. I hold on. Oh, there we go. I actually painted that. I've been painting a lot more, and I've also been definitely feeling the itch to kinda share some of that stuff. So thank you, I appreciate that. I'm going through Venus return. Reminds me to ask, are nodal returns a thing? Oh, yeah, they are. And so are reverse nodal returns. Yes, they are. They are very much a thing, and they can feel very different. I feel like the way I look at reverse nodal returns are different than I think most astrologers look at them. Reverse nodal returns, I feel like astrologers kind of look at it as a very like karmic-y experience, which it can be, but I feel like it can also be a nice homecoming when you're going through a south, like it's basically a south nodal return is a reverse nodal return, is like it's the same thing. Um, so for example, like if your south node is Aries, right, you would be going through reverse nodal return right now, or a south nodal return. And I feel like that can actually feel kind of comforting in a way, because like everything that everybody is being challenged with or what we're learning collectively would already be natural to you, right? And so in a way, it's like you can kind of rehone like your natural skills and like your natural like yeah, your natural skills, like what you came into this world with that you're already good at or very comfortable with. Now, it depends on the chart. So many things depend on the chart, like the whole big picture. And if your south nodal return is south node return, excuse me, if your south node in Aries is like positively aspected, it probably does feel really good. But if you have a lot of emphasis of really needing to get away from your south node, like with a lot of squares or things like that, and really emphasizing that like if you lean into your south node that it's actually kind of toxic for you, then maybe it'll feel very karmic, right? But I think it just depends on your chart. So that's what I have to say about that. But anyway, we've talked quite a bit about a little bit of everything. I'm really eager to pull some cards. I'm very eager to pull cards for what's going on right now, because I feel like we are in the middle of this like eclipse sandwich, right? Between the full moon and new moon. And I feel like this week in particular, we had such a shift between the fall equinox, between the quarter moon and Cancer, and just a lot of the aspects were helping us literally go from this place of feeling like a little restricted and maybe feeling overwhelmed with options or even just confusion, and getting very clear on, oh no, wait, this does feel good. Oh wait, you know what, I think I have the confidence to go in this direction now, or change this or do this instead or whatever. And now we are ready to really initiate and really invest, and that'll coincide with the new moon Libra eclipse on October 2nd. Look at my calendar right now. So yeah, I do. I want to get some cards out here. I've been really loving, I have to say, I've been loving this deck. I've quickly fallen in love with it. And Kim Kranz is just amazing. This is only my second deck of hers. I know she's got a third that I don't have. I think it's like her tarot deck actually. And I wonder if she has any others I don't know about. But I definitely want to use that. Big Bertha really wants to come out, so we're going to be using her as well. The only problem with this setup, there's like no space. Like at all. If you guys saw how crammed everything is right now, and also because of where I'm set up in my home, I have to like completely break it down and completely put it all back together every time. So I'm rolling with it. We'll see how long this lasts. My contact is freaking out. Okay, Big Bertha. Let's just start with Big Bertha. Or do we want to start with the archetypes? Hold on. They said archetypes. Okay. We'll start with archetypes then. For those who are new, again, welcome. If you're using the timestamps, and of course, I didn't even actually write that down, did I? Hold on a second. Okay. Hello. If you're new and you're using the timestamps, the way to treat the messages that come through or this reading that I'm about to do, basically just treat it like a present moment, timeless kind of a reading. You can treat it like a weekend reading if you want to, especially if you're like live in here. Hold on a second. I'm a little ADD right now. But everything is a collective reading pretty much. And everything is pretty much also general and timeless. So just take the messages as they resonate. Okay. All right. Can you show us how big the archetype cards are? They're pretty tiny. But this is the pocket version. So this is actually meant to be the tiny version. Just to compare it to a tea light candle. Like it's pretty tiny. It's pretty tiny. But it's linked below. So if you've never looked at my description section, I have a deck list down there with links and everything too. And it's at the top of the list since it's my most recent one. Okay. Any messages or insights for the collective in this present moment? Yeah, they're bringing up the trine. They're bringing up the water trine. And they're also bringing up illusions and projections. So we've been kind of traversing illusions and projections for quite some time now, for months, really, for months. And it's really it's really been this window to help us break all of that down and also to help us master our minds, master wielding our sword, right? To navigate illusions and projections, to always be able to see and hold on to truth. But they're really highlighting this. Now in eclipse season, as things are being swept away, there's definitely some major closures of certain situations and paths, and they're really highlighting that. And so just be aware that people are aligning to I'm hearing akin akin people who are akin to their own perspective. So if there are people who are really lost in their illusions and projections, they're going to thank you. Okay. First of all, they're going to be attracted to people who are doing the same or who are feeling the same or who are lost in that same like halls of a mentee, basically, who are lost in the halls of a mentee is how they're saying it. These people may also attract in people to just continually mirror back illusions and projections until they break out of the illusions and projections. Some of you are in that, some of you are not. I think you would know. I think you would know. Now, keep in mind, if you have been breaking your illusions and projections and breaking out of the halls of a mentee, you have probably been lessening. These are just the words that are coming through. Lessening. Thank you. Lessening the fixation and the focus on anything outside of you and being a lot more present and being a lot more within yourself, which is great. But if you have been doing that, there have also probably been people who are in your life who have been stuck in illusions and projections that have also been getting swept away and closed out. Okay. Just wanted to be said. So we have like two groups of people in the collective that are two collectives within the collective showing up, people who are lost in the halls of Amenti and people who have broken out of the halls of Amenti. Okay. If you're not familiar with what that is, just research. Trying to stay in it. Just research. Halls of Amenti. Where's my keyboard? Hold on. I'll type it in the chat. There you go. Okay. All right. Don't get too stuck in the, let me use my words carefully. Don't worry too much about the anxiety that could be coming up as like shifts are happening. Just know that if things are getting swept away, it really is for a good reason and it could bring a lot of great things potentially. So just embrace it, embrace it, embrace it. Embrace it as a positive thing. Any messages or insights for the collective in this present moment? Why were you bringing up the water trine in relation to the halls of Amenti? The coming together. Hold on. So they have cards that I haven't seen them yet, and I don't want to see them until I get this message out. With the union of water, there is also union of the heart that is happening and definitely is going to be bringing people together who have, yeah, I feel like this is really more for people who've broken out of the halls of Amenti. I feel like the grand water trine for people who are stuck in the halls of Amenti could offer a healing window, is what I want to say. Yeah, could offer a healing window, just another window of opportunity to escape that that's all needs to be said. But for those who have broken out of the halls of Amenti, I'm like they're showing me Venus, Mars, and Saturn, and like they're like magnetizing is how they're showing it to me. Like they're all like boop, like being pulled together. Yeah, so there's just a coming together, a pulling together. That's a magnetizing that's happening for people who've broken out of the halls of Amenti. Okay. Ooh. Okay. You can't gotta get used to the camera view. We have the king with the warrior coming out here. Well, ain't that interesting? I'm also noticing that on the third eye of the warrior, there's that gold medallion, and in the king, he's also holding a little gold little nugget at the tips of his fingers, while also holding on to something in his palm here. The key, the key, the key. The warrior card, even just tuning into it, like I feel like I've spoken on this recently, sometime last month. The idea of war. Right. Every time we use that word, not every time, but most of the time we use that word, there's a very strong emotional and a connection tied to that gets brought up, including like a very strong belief system and perception that gets brought up with the word war. Well, we perceive it as a very like aggressive and toxic kind of a thing, but war does have its place in, in time and space. So literally how they said it to me. War has its time, has its place in time and space. Funny. But being the warrior is also being someone who is comfortable with that, who knows that. Even the third eye is really jumping out at me there. The higher wisdom of what it is to engage in war. And you notice there's a rainbow around his horns, right? There is a way to be a warrior and to engage in war that is really just about, oh, interesting. I've said this before of like seeking out fear to unmask it and become fearless and to really support the energy of love and union and being together, right? Support to facilitate support. But I heard spread fearlessness, to spread fearlessness, to spread fearlessness, to spread fearlessness. And the rainbow is really sticking out to me for that. Some of you, this is by a creative avenue. Yeah, to be an example of fearlessness, to show other people to not be afraid. Oh, that's very interesting. That's a very specific message and not for everybody. And the king is very masculine energy, as we know. But even with the king coming out the warrior, this definitely feels like standing for something. And if memory serves, that's also part of the new moon Libra eclipse energy. Just from again, brief memories of when I went over it a year ago, so keep that in mind. But yeah, standing up for something. Keep in mind, after the new moon Libra eclipse, we have the full moon in Aries, okay? That's gonna be a lot. We got the full moon in Aries after that, and that's what I'm getting here mostly. I'm honestly getting a lot of Aries vibes. We're gonna pull a couple other cards here, but that's what this feels like to me. Feeling fearless to show up as an example, to teach other people, show other people to not be afraid. Definitely feeling a generous. I'm getting strong Leo now, like very strong Leo. Yeah, I'm also getting a strong generous energy here, like a giving. Yeah, generosity, giving, get generosity, giving, just is like repeating itself. The lower chakras are also being highlighted here with all of the hot colors. Yeah. Yeah. So even in a more like minor way, this is also just coming to terms with how you want to spread peace, how you want to spread joy, how you want to spread generosity. How do you want to show up? Like, what example do you want to set? Yeah, yeah, thank you. What example do you want to set? What example do you want to set? And that third eye is really jumping out as well as being a component of this. Can I get one more, please, for the collective? Thank you. Ooh, oh, masky mask. Why do I feel like this is totally separating the two groups, right? Even just look at the polarity of this, the rainbow and then like the black and white and then a mask and then it's like the mask is just kind of blended in. Um yes, this is definitely coinciding too. Oh my god, look at the rainbow colors. This is definitely coinciding too with doing this authentically, right? And doing this in a way where you're really being an example of something, which means you're showing people something about yourself, right? So I'm definitely seeing that. But again, I feel like most of this is coming through for people who have broken out of the halls of a mentee. And for people who haven't, I just feel like there's a window to break out, but that's up to them. That's like a free will thing. And when we are in a place where there's a lot of illusions and projections and there's mirroring, there's also a lot of masks going on because there's a lot of illusions going on, right? So people have broken out, your mask is off, your mask is off and you're really showing people who you are, what your values are, what matters to you, your character, what your character is all about. And I just keep hearing, what do you want to be an example of? It could be an example of anything, but what do you want to be an example of? Very nice. I'm tempted to pull another, but yeah, they're like not necessary yet. I didn't think so either. All right, let's get into Big Bertha. She takes a little while to shuffle for those who are new. And for those who are new, she's a combination deck of the Angels and Ancestors Oracle and the Starseed Oracle. Both are listed below. Okay. The solar eclipse on my descendant, full moon on my Aries ascendant. You're going to come out like a different person. Alejandra. Totally. Wow. I feel like Pluto, the snake, is anointing us horned zodiac signs. That just sparked me wanting to talk about some downloads I've gotten over the last year about archetypes, actually. Specific archetypes, especially those who work with animals. But yeah, they're like, no. I'm like, okay, not the video for that. Not time for that. Okay, whatever. It's okay. Okay. Any other messages or insights for the collective? Hold on. Okay, not taking this one, but I am taking this one. Ooh, activated earth. Power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. And they're showing me that, like, whoop, like the magnetizing of Venus, Mars, and Saturn. So if you do feel called to like make physical, tangible moves or just to like gather with people or like go to, I don't know, like a coffee shop you never tried, you know what I mean? These places don't have to be far away from you. They could literally be like local, like in your neighborhood. So just, don't get too caught up on the fact that it's like, oh, ley lines and activated earth and sacred sites. Could absolutely be all of those things, but it's way more about, where do you feel pulled? What are you magnetizing to? Yeah. Okay. Geographically, what are you magnetizing to? Where are you magnetizing to? Where are you being pulled? Oh, and why are you being pulled? Oh, interesting. Let's tune into that for a minute and why you're being pulled. Now remember, we also still have a lot of like psychic noise that's been going on. I do feel like it's quieted down, but I also feel like the collective has just been learning to deal with it a little bit easier. So for those of you that has been affecting you, like you've been feeling confused, or maybe you're thinking of a lot of people, or just a lot, you know what I mean? Interference, psychic noise, mental chatter, all of that stuff. Just be aware that you may feel called to a place. This is where that mastery of the mind comes in to make sure that it's not someone else that's pulling on you or something else that's pulling on you that's not you. That's not your own soul. And I want to say, make sure that you're feeling this internally, that it's not like a mental thing. It's not a logical thing. It's not a other people are mentioning a place over and over. Like really look within yourself, not outside yourself. Because that's another thing too. It's like external forces could be showing you a place a lot or saying a place a lot, and you could be taking that as like, oh, that's a sign, that's a synchronicity. Make sure you're actually feeling that inside of yourself, right? This is all about working internally. You got to feel the pull within your body somewhere, okay? And also want to say this is probably not going to be logical, okay? Yeah, this is not going to be logical. It's going to be a feeling, it's going to be a pull, it's going to be a magnetization of the heart, of the soul, of waters, okay? So just be aware of that with all this psychic noise coming in, that where you're feeling pulled is where you're truly feeling pulled, not other things or other people pulling on you. Okay. Can I get one more, please? What? Thank you. Oh my gosh. $50. Hold on a second. I'm not used to doing this on the computer, so I'm trying to figure out how to like the thing. Is it letting me like it? What if I want to like it? Hold on. It's okay. So 72 algorithm. I'm sorry. It won't let me like it for some reason, or maybe I just can't figure it out. But I greatly appreciate you. That is like insane, insanely generous. Um, oh shoot, now I can get back to the chat. Okay, there we go. But thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. So now we have warrior. It's why I laughed. So I was like, of course. Of course. Oh, hold on. There we go. Of course. Of course, we get a second warrior card. And by the way, like you see how like fat this deck is because it's two decks together. I'm pretty sure this is the only warrior card in this whole deck. And of course, here it comes flying out. Anyway, I almost said your audio went out until I realized I accidentally muted your video. Oh, well, glad it's still working. But warrior, be fearless and stand strong. Be fearless and stand strong. Be fearless and stand strong. Kind of what I was saying before, right? Gosh, I'm going to get used to this, I promise. Kind of what I was saying before, right? Where it's like being in that warrior energy is in a energy of fearlessness and being an example of that. Whatever you're being an example for, fearlessness of maybe being yourself, fearlessness of maybe trying something new or wanting to build something or express something. It could be anything, right? But it's just confirming that. But I keep feeling like tangible physical location, like feeling like I got to go here for whatever reason, or I got to go here and do this or say this. It's very, very physical. This is the collective message right now. Yeah. This left contact is like super unhappy. Can I get one more, please? Thank you. I love it. Medicine Mother, honor your inner knowing. Like I was saying, this has to come from within yourself, not externally. This can't come from advice from other people. This, I'm not going to say, I know I got to be careful with those words. It is better that you feel and experience this eternally. Eternally? Oh, interesting. Internally. Eternally wanted to come out. Internally, over hearing this from other people, looking at signs outside of yourself. The signs and synchronicities always feel great. It always feels good to get that. You're like, oh yeah, I'm like in alignment. Like we're good. I know that feels good. don't take that as your sign. Your sign should be what you know inside of yourself and what you feel inside of yourself. That should be your indicator. That should be your compass. That should be your deciding factor. Okay. Also noticing with warrior and medicine mother, some of you may yeah, I'm hearing join forces. For those where you're feeling called to a certain location, don't be surprised if you feel like you're really more in one of these. Like maybe you're really in medicine mother and then you run into a warrior kind of archetype, or maybe you're really in the warrior archetype and then you run into a medicine mother. But that's what I'm getting. I'm getting joining forces. And I do think this is mostly speaking to joining and embodying those forces within yourself, being the medicine mother and the warrior. It's very masculine, feminine, right? Very much so. But regardless of whether you're experiencing that inside of yourself, the joining of forces, I do feel like as you venture fearlessly, there will be joining of forces with other people. Okay. Yeah, I do feel that. I do. I want to get cards on all three of these actually. I don't know if I'm doing groups today. We'll see. We'll flow, but this is feeling really like, I don't know, really just in this. It just feels very juicy. Okay. Just looking at my cards here. What do I got? What do I have? Where do we want to go? Maybe Priestess of Light. Definitely not you. Ooh, let's do star codes. Okay. So we're going to do the star codes Astro Oracle. I'm going to start clarifying. Can I get a card for Activated Earth? It's very yin yang counterpart energy, right? Right? I know. I used to run away from Aries archetypes so much. Now I embrace her and my Lilith and Aries. Oh, good. Lilith should always be embraced on some level. I think sometimes it's easy to ignore our Lilith because Lilith is like our darker impulses and sometimes can wreak a little bit of havoc and trouble, but we need Lilith. We need Lilith. I know my Lilith gets me in trouble, especially because my Lilith is conjunct Antares, and that's like that's a whole other discussion. But yeah, my Lilith can definitely get me in trouble. Anyway, all right, Activated Earth. Can I get a card? Oh, you see how the cards are just like exploding? It's been happening for quite a bit. Hold on a second. Okay, so we got 3 cards. I'm definitely taking them. All right, so we have Neptune. This is, again, clarifying Activated Earth, that call, that pull to certain locations. Gemini. Oh my God. And Aries. Oh my. So that Neptune energy, along with Gemini, screams telepathy for me, personally. Screams telepathy, astraling. Some of you could actually be going to locations like in dream time, or just again feeling that pull on your soul specifically. But that's what I'm getting with Neptune and Gemini. And then Aries is the motivated physical action of acting on that call, of acting on that pull, of acting on that intuitive knowing. But remember what I said before, be very mindful about what is pulling you where, right? Because with Gemini and Neptune, like I said, with telepathy, that could be a pull from somebody else, right? That could be a pull from a person. And with all of the psychic noise that's been happening, that whole like emergence of the collective awareness. For those who don't know what I'm talking about, I spoke about it in that last Island Turtle Talk episode. So go ahead and check that out if you're curious. I think it's episode 9. But just be very, very mindful about that, because Gemini is also about options and possibilities, and Neptune can also be about illusions, right? So, yes, filter through the psychic noise and get down into what is true within your body, in your heart, and in your soul, not externally and not through signs or synchronicities, like really what is in your body, and then act on it. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I heard populate and then I heard pollinate. So interesting. So the bees are really standing out here on Gemini. Bees could be synchronicity for you on some level or confirmation. But Oh, so much just came in here. Populating a dream, pollinating a dream, and that again is also speaking to like forces coming together because like bees are hive mind, bees are a collective, bees are a community, but bees are also hardworking and they get the job done, right? Some of you, that's what this is actually circulating around, and I'm gonna say this is just for a subgroup of the collective. This is definitely not for the main collective, okay? So some of you, this is about actually wanting to build something with other people in a very much a collaborative teamwork sort of a way. But again, just be mindful that you're seeing that clearly. I'm hearing dream, 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 dream. Just make sure you're seeing that dream clearly and that you're very grounded in it as you act on it. Okay. Some of you actually know what it is you want, but you don't know where to go, is also what I'm getting. The where seems to be ambiguous. I think as time, as every day that sorry, every day that passes, that's going to get more solidified and more clear because again we've got people who are breaking out of the halls of Amenti and people who are stuck, and as people break out or decide to stay in, that shifts the timeline, right? That cements the timeline, and that is also affecting your timeline. So be mindful about that, but again, just stay rooted in you. Okay. Okay, lots to be said. All right, warrior. Let's look at the warrior. I'm excited to look at the warrior. There's just like, I don't know, it just feels good. Feels very fiery. I'm hearing fearless recognizes fearless. That's pretty cool. Okay. Can I get a card for warrior, please? Maybe that'll be the title of this. Actually, I'm going to write that down. Hold on. I feel like I'm going to forget it. Okay. All right, coming back. Tell me about warrior. Can I get a card for warrior, please, for the collective in this present moment? Oh, interesting. So for those of you where there is a merging of these forces within yourself, a union of the medicine mother and the warrior within yourself, it feels like the warrior has been needing to emerge. Like it almost feels like there's pretty solid energy here with the medicine mother. This feels like a very solid, pretty unwavering sort of energy. This is what feels kind of new, right? This feels new collectively and individually. Um, it's needed to emerge, almost like the mask that's needed to come off or the key that helped you break out of the halls of Amenti for where that applies was the warrior. This is a new energy. And so again, if you guys are venturing out physically, if you're going to encounter anybody, it might be somebody who is very strong in their warrior energy because you're new in the warrior energy. You see what I'm saying? Okay, warrior. Yeah, trine, sextile, symbiosis. These are forces working together, which is exactly what I was getting. Warrior has been the missing piece for a lot of people here. Oh. Solar flares activate. 7 to the 8, by the way, with 52 breaking down to a 7 and 17 breaking down to an 8. So there's progression happening as well. But yes, the warrior has emerged. The warrior is emerging. Fearlessness is emerging, and it's allowing for this ease and movement moving forward to be an example, to be fearless and join forces to merge with other people. Can I get one more for the warrior, please? Yeah, warrior is activated. Can I get one more for the warrior, please? They're bringing up location again. Don't get in your head about it. Like they're really emphasizing that. Like this does not need to be a logical thing. Do not get in the mind about it. Your soul knows, your body knows, your heart knows. Your mind may try to figure it out or consider this or consider that. Like no, your soul knows where it wants to go. Hold on a second. Mm. This third card, we don't have it out yet, but it's I'm starting to feel tension. So it's gonna get interesting. Can I get one more, please, for the warrior? Yeah, I am. I'm feeling tension. I'm hearing wise counsel. That feels like communing with spirit team. Could even be with like someone who's gone through what you are going through now or is where you want to be. Why? Yeah, they're saying yes. Wise counsel. What is the tension that I'm feeling here? Can I get a thank you? Huh. Excuse me. We have Ceres and Cancer. That's interesting. So we know Mars is in Cancer right now. Ceres is actually in Capricorn, which is the opposite to Cancer, right? It's the complement to Cancer. And I'm feeling tension around this. While there is this like activation happening, the warriors activated, the warriors emerging, and helping with this ease into magnetizing into a location, to meeting different people, uniting of forces, if you will. This tension, it's almost like how to is what I'm getting. And they think that's also why they emphasize don't get overly logical about it. Yeah, because this is literally the opposite position of where Ceres actually is right now. Almost like do it this way. Oh no, do it that way. Do it this way, do it that way. Do it this way, do it that way. Ah. Coming from the heart is always going to be good in any situation, and Cancer does emphasize that. But with Ceres being in Capricorn right now, Ceres is actually helping us with understanding engaging long-term investments and long-term obligations and commitments, which is literally what we're doing right now, right? That's like these eclipse energies are trying to set us up for the long term, and Ceres and Capricorn is part of that. Yeah, I feel like this is just like a testament to say, yes, come from the heart, don't get too in the head, but don't dismiss the practical either. Don't get overly okay, yeah, don't let your emotions run away with you. Yeah, that's what it is. Don't let your emotions run away with you here. Emotionally regulate. With Mars being in Cancer, while it is helping Venus and Scorpio and Saturn and Pisces, Mars in Cancer unfortunately is debilitated. And when Mars in Cancer gets a little out of balance, like it tends to allow emotions to take the driver's seat in decision making and what we decide to do and how we decide to exit things or enter things or make certain changes, and can be a little impulsive, can also be kind of controlling and a little codependent as well, and overprotective. And that's not going to help. That is not going to be helpful here. So that's what I'm getting. It's like, just make sure that you are emotionally grounded and centered and regulating, and that's not going to be the main driving component of everything. Yes, emotions are important and the heart is important, but it shouldn't be the only factor. The practical has a role to play. Okay, tell me about Medicine Mother. Getting back into this again, this feels like very solid. This is just relying on your inner compass. There may be a call to nurture people at this time as well. Just speaking to that, you don't have to sacrifice your goals for that. Okay. I want to say that again. If you feel the call or pull to support people, take care of people, or maybe focus on family, your loved ones, that's great. It doesn't mean you have to sacrifice your long term goals or your long term stability. Yeah, they're bringing up codependence a lot, actually. Yeah. 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 Ceres being in Capricorn is a future sign. It's a future sign, excuse me. It's a future placement energy. I think is the best way to say that. Ceres and Capricorn makes us think about the future. It makes us think about future generations and how there's going to be stability or not for future generations. That's what Ceres and Capricorn is all about. The Cancer component is a little bit more about the now and the present and what can I experience now. And again, that's not bad. It needs to be balanced. It just needs to be balanced. And also with Cancer, sometimes Cancer can be an all or nothing sign as far as like emotional investment, to the point where Cancer will sacrifice itself, right? This is not about self-sacrifice. We're over that. We're not doing that anymore. So if you have any codependency stuff that kind of creeps up, just remember what we're talking about here. Okay? Okay. All right, let's get back to Medicine Mother. Tell me more about Medicine Mother with Honor Your Inner Knowing. Oh, tell me about this Medicine Mother. It's very high priestessy. She's very quiet. This aspect of the self is very quiet, which I think is good. Yeah, be mindful to not overshare is what's coming through. Try not to overshare your plans, your goals, your intentions. Use your discernment on who you can share with and who not, and when not. Am I taking these? No. Okay. Transits, yeah. With climate, this is about the current changes that are happening presently. 55, by the way, as well, also indicative of breaking free and changes. So again, yeah, rely on your inner compass, rely on your soul to tell you what to do, your heart to tell you what to do, and how that's guiding you. But be very mindful about, as you are moving and making decisions, what you're sharing and what you're not sharing and with whom. Okay. As you venture out, you may also find that people just suddenly want to support you. I'm also getting that. As I say that, third house with communication. Also another 5, 41 breaking down to a 5, by the way. So 555 coming through. I'm going to write that down as well. 5. Yeah. Yeah. Again, be mindful who you share things with, but also allow yourself to be open to the right people who want to support you in whatever it is that you are doing and or wanting. And just they're saying fearless recognizes fearless. To have healthy reciprocal relationships, we need to have healthy parties that have a healthy relationship to both of those, right? A healthy relationship to unconditional giving and unconditional receiving. Hence the word unconditional is kind of the key word here, because people can give, they can still be conditional. Right? That's not exactly what we're looking for. Unconditional giving and unconditional receiving. Can I get one more, please? For Medicine Mother. Woo! One more. I'm starting to feel those Venus vibes. We'll see if she comes out. Like, I'm getting like 5th house, Leo, Venus kind of vibey vibes. Definitely like big hearted energy. I'm starting to feel. We'll see what comes out. Let's see. Oh, interesting. We have Mercury coming out here along with third house, and we also have the Gemini card out here. So Gemini is playing a big role in this reading. Jupiter is still in Gemini, so I'd keep your eyes on your house of Gemini just to see what's going on there, or even your third house, even if it's not ruled by Gemini. Just take a peek there and see what's happening or what house that falls in for you. Again, Gemini and your third house. Okay. Again, with Mercury coming out here, I feel like it's just really emphasizing communication, open lines of communication, but you have to be discerning of with who. Okay. And that's going to come from within. That's going to come from within. Oh, and then we have Libra. I was waiting for one of those to come out. We had Aries. I was like, where's Libra? With energy of 7, we know what Libra is, we know what Libra's about, and we know why it's important. This new moon Libra eclipse is right around the corner, and this is what we're gearing up for. This is what we're getting ready for. And Libra is about relationships and love and all of that good stuff, but it's also about diplomacy. I'm going to say that again. It's also about diplomacy, okay? Which is how we create balance and how we create harmony with different pieces, different people, different parties. And that diplomacy usually comes with some level of emotional detachment, of being able to look at the big picture and the long-term game, and also be discerning of what people's intentions are, what people's motivations are, reading the room, if you will. There's also why Libra gets the rap for being a little bit of being a little manipulative, or being a people pleaser, or even being a liar. Hate to say that. It's just some of these things that Libras are known for, but Libras have those skills so that they can achieve harmony amongst many, many different factors, and sometimes those things are needed to make that happen. So it just wanted to be said. Don't take it the wrong way. If you're triggered, wasn't meant to trigger, it just wanted to be said that way. I'm not encouraging lying, I'm not encouraging manipulation, I'm not encouraging or condoning any of those things. It just wanted to be said. But with Libra coming out here, it is about taking that like high priestess medicine mother stance and just looking at the big picture and seeing what people's motivations are, and making sure you have your eye on the prize as far as what's going to bring you the most harmony and balance, and be diplomatic in the process. Okay, that's all. Spiritually smart. Yeah, we'll say that. Spiritually smart. Just being spiritually smart. Wow. Okie dokie. Smoky. I like it. I like it a lot. Um, I'm really not feeling groups today. Yeah, I'm not really feeling groups today, but I do want to pull um potentially some tarot cards, maybe even a little bit of the Fae and all that. So let's pull some of those and then we will wrap this up. I want to use the unicorns actually. Hold on. See, there's like no space. No space. Very crammed up in here. Yeah, they said just go straight with tarot. I was trying to discern if I should go with fae or animals, but they said just go straight into the tarot. So that's what we gonna do. All right. Okay. My double air stellium is not opposed to being strategic. Yeah. Yeah. Any final messages or insights for the collective regarding this spread? I love these cards. A friend gave them to me, and every time I use them, I think of her, and I'm just like, oh, hope she's doing good. Oh, hold on. Okay. Any messages or insights for the collective regarding this spread? Any final messages or insights for the collective regarding this spread? Taking these? No. Wouldn't be surprised if the Two of Cups comes out. I'm just feeling it. Leo has been creeping into this reading a little bit. Like even when we first pulled out the archetypes with the king, right? So maybe King of Wands will come out. And then when I was over here at the Medicine Mother, I was feeling Leo vibes. Let's see here. We have 9 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles. We like that. This is working on emotional contentment. This is being willing to invest, devote, commit time and energy and or money to what makes you happy, which is exactly what we've been talking about this whole time. I think I even started this video with talking about that. So it's just showing up here. Being willing to is what they want to say. Being willing to. Any other messages or insights? Oh, it was 9 and 8. 9 of Cups and the 8 of Pentacles. Just mentioning. Oh, double 8 though. 8 of Cups. 8 of Cups. Yeah, being willing. The 8 of Cups is not exactly the easiest of cards. The 8 of Cups is basically saying, I care a lot about these things, these people, these habits, these environments, even memories. Sometimes it speaks of memories and belief systems. It's having such a strong emotional attachment, but deciding you need to leave it behind anyway. That's the 8 of cups. With the 9 and the 8, there's an ace of cups as well, which is also following your heart, following your soul. I look at the ace of cups as literally just embodying the soul and the heart. Um, okay. Um, I almost went on a diatribe of all the aces, and it's like, yeah, it's not necessary here. Anyway, but being willing to make those choices, being willing to make those moves, and it can feel scary, it can feel risky, but this is following your ace of cups to get there. Some of you, this is also about leaving your comfort zone. That's been a huge theme this year for a lot of people. If you have been content to the point where maybe you've been almost a little bored, definitely maybe a little encouragement to shift a little bit and bring some new energy into just your life and into certain situations. But this is definitely just taking the plunge. Taking the plunge, being willing, and being fearless enough to do it. Okay? Yeah. I think this came up in the Cancer reading. Hold on a second. Okay. I think this came up in the Cancer reading I did last, which I'm actually doing. Am I doing Cancer today? Who am I doing? I got to do signs today. No, I'm doing Gemini. Can't see. I think I'm doing Gemini, Cancer, not Cancer, excuse me. I think I'm doing Gemini, Capricorn, and Pisces, but it's reminding me of the Cancer reading where it was like Cancer was really, pretty sure it was Cancer. Cancer was really happy with where they were at, but it was clearly like things need to shift. And how do you shift if you're actually happy? And that sometimes is hard. And some of you may be in that boat. And if you don't want to shift, you don't have to. Some things may happen outside of your control because that's just like life, you know? But yeah, I'm just seeing that. Any other messages or insights for the collective, please? Regarding this spread. Some of you have been slowly preparing yourself for this. It feels like a mental preparation. I'm almost getting like layers of admitting to yourself is also what I'm getting. Like, yeah, that friendship is not good for me. And then letting that go and moving through that. And then it's like, oh, you know what? Like, maybe I do need to stop like that particular habit. Oh, but I like it so much. And I'm like, okay, fine, I can do that. Okay. Like one slow, painful cup at a time, you've been like admitting to let go of things. And I feel like some of you like have one cup left. They're saying ace, ace, ace. Some of you have one cup left, and it's just like it's the biggest one. It's like the big boss level of just admitting to yourself that it's time to shift. Oh, come back. It got all fuzzy. Right? Is that just me? Hold on. Okay. All right. That was weird. Anyway, but yeah, I'm seeing that like literally one painful cup at a time, letting each cup go. Feel that's so Cancer. That is like so Cancer. I think it's very water sign too, but it's very Cancer. Okay. We do have Cancer out here, like I mentioned. Any other messages or insights for the collective regarding this spread? Nice. Very nice. Not Leo energy, but close. The King of Wands is Leo. The Queen of Wands is Aries, which we know is also important here. Some of you, this may be playing out well past the eclipses and maybe playing out even well into that full moon Aries. Cancer. Oh shit. Maybe up into the full moon Cancer? That's like at the end of the year. That's December. Or is that January? No, I'm pretty sure that's December. Hopefully, it doesn't take that long. If it does, it does. It's not a problem. But I am picking up on this. I think these are just different timelines for everybody. So some of you, this is happening now. Some of you, it's happening with the new moon in Libra eclipse. Some of you, it's happening with the full moon Aries eclipse. Some of you, not eclipse, excuse me, the full moon Aries cycle. Some of you, this could be happening anywhere from now, even up into the full moon Cancer in December. Okay. Interesting. But Queen of Wands, sorry, I didn't even talk about the meaning of this. Sorry, Queen of Wands is confident. She's confident, she is fearless, and she is also magical. She is the witch, so to speak. She's basically a magician in her own right. She can attract things to her, and she initiates, she starts things, she makes things happen, and she's very bold and fearless about it. Can I get a final card? This is definitely the energy that will be harnessed in all of this to make this happen. Can I get one more, please? And also, this is something that I noticed last time too. Last time this card came out, I think it was for actually, it might have been for Leo. Now that I think about it, it might have been for the Leo read. I could be mistaken, but and I don't think this is in the typical tarot, but you see the two lions here at the top with the sunflower, and then even down here, it's like one has a mane, one doesn't. One's a male, one's a female on both sides, which to me just screams Queen of Wands and King of Wands, which would also bring that Leo energy. So just emphasizing. All right. One last card, please, for the collective, and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, we're doing one more card after this. Page of Pentacles. This landed on the Eight of Cups. Okay, hold on. This coincided with the Eight of Cups here. Page of Pentacles is planning. It's formulating a new plan. It's even like a new perspective on commitment and loyalty and practical matters and money matters. Could even speak of allyship and friendship. And like I said, some of you, that's a huge theme of shifts within relationships where maybe you are magnetizing to certain people, and definitely some people are being swept out or swept away. But I do feel like that's actually more speaking of plans, okay? New plans in the making. And having more trust in yourself too, believing in yourself more, that you're capable of seeing certain things through. Wheel of Fortune at the bottom, indicating more changes. Can I get a final card, please, alongside the Queen of Wands for the collective? Watch it be the King. That'd be so funny. Some of you have become your own best friend. They're just emphasizing the Page of Pentacles there. Can I get a final card for the collective, please? Alongside the Queen of Wands, to go alongside the Queen of Wands. We got two. Interesting. Eight of Wands and Two of Swords. Eight of Wands is movement. It is inevitable, unstoppable movement. And remember, the very first card we got from the Big Bertha deck was Activated Earth. It was that call to like actually go somewhere physically, right? Whether it's traveling, moving, or just going to somewhere local. But Eight of Wands, I feel like, can also be downloads, but I feel like it's like literally that movement, the physical movement of on behalf of the Queen of Wands here. And then have the Two of Swords indicates decisions, right? So again, be mindful that where you're feeling called to is something that is true and authentic to you and not an external force that you're sensing or feeling or being influenced by. The Two of Swords can also be holding the two conflicting swords, holding two conflicting ideas or conflicting truths. Doesn't mean either of them are absolutely wrong, but maybe there is one that is actually more in your alignment. So just be wary of that. But I feel like it's really speaking more to just making a decision, making that move, investing, and just doing it. Okay. That's what I feel like it's really speaking to. Okay. We are complete. I hope that you guys have enjoyed the read today. Words, man, words. And I hope that it has supported you in just this crazy eclipse roller coaster ride. Honestly, I've been feeling good about the eclipses. Like, I got to be real with you guys. I've been feeling pretty good. Outside of tech shit and tech craziness, I feel like everything's getting like slowly lighter and lighter and lighter. And I recognize that not everybody is experiencing that. And I hope that it does start to feel a little bit lighter for you. And if it's not right now, just know that it can shift, right? And if you're feeling really lost, maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea to reflect on, maybe potentially being in the halls of a mentee, right? Being in illusions and fears and the mind and projections, and considering that maybe there is just a different perspective or a different way. And if that's the case, I would really sit down with, if I were you, I would just sit down with the self and literally just start having conversations with these different parts of you that are scared or anxious or afraid or worried or concerned, or just like playing out different stories about people or situations or the what ifs. I would sit down and just talk to those pieces, those parts of yourself, and just see where that leads you. That is my advice for that. But I'm going to hop off. I hope you guys again have enjoyed. I've enjoyed you. And thank you again, 72 algorithm, for that amazing super chat. That was so crazy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm gonna hop off. I hope you guys have an amazing Friday. And if you're joining me for the new moon eclipse hangout tomorrow on Patreon, I will see you tomorrow. Okay. All right, guys. Take care.